I said I wasn't going to make this video. Yeah, here I am. Today, I'm doing the Hazbin Hotel characters' Pokemon teams, if they were Pokemon trainers. So you may remember a few months ago, I did Helluva's character Pokemon types, and I literally said in that video I would never be making a Pokemon teams video for them, but I didn't realize that Hazbin Hotel would actually take over my channel, so here I am, doing exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do. That's so funny. It was actually really easy to make their teams, like really easy actually. They all the only characters that have full teams of 6 though are Charlie and Lucifer, just right off the bat. I also will be doing Helluva Boss Pokemon teams, and this is actually a 2-part video by the way, because there's that many characters in the Helluverse. So there's gonna be 2 parts for Hazbin Hotel and then 2 parts for Helluva Boss. So that's a lot of content. I'm really milking it, aren't I? But let's get into it. Okay, so starting with Charlie Morningstar, obviously, she would have a Purloin to represent Kiki because for some reason, Kiki's a cat. I still don't know why. And Purloin's the closest cat Pokemon, I would say, to Kiki. So yeah. But she'd also have a Klefki to also represent Kiki because it's a key. What do you want from me here? She'd also have a Pikachu because cheeks. Like, I bet you've never noticed her rosy cheeks before. And then she'd have a Meloetta. I just thought it would make sense for her to have a legendary. And Meloetta was like a musical legendary, so that would work. Meloetta's a mythical. I know. And then she'd also have 2 Skidoo, because Razzle and Dazzle. Even though technically one of them died, I still don't know which one. I think it was Razzle. I hope it was Razzle, because, like, otherwise I'm gonna look funny. But there you go. That's Charlie Morningstar's team. Alright, next is Vaggie, with just an I, by the way. Stop putting an E at the end. Vaggie would have Frostmoth, because she's a moth, and then that's a moth. And I also gave her Venomoth as well, but like I feel like that would maybe be too many moths. I don't know. If you can think of one better that's not a moth that would fit Vaggie, let me know. But until then, she has 2 moths. And then she would have an Absol, and when she was in heaven, it would have been a Mega Absol. But when she fell down to hell and became a fallen angel, it became Mega Absol Z. I love this Pokemon so much. I'm really glad that Game Freak made it because it means I could do this because she already had Absol because Absol is kind of already an angel that loses its wings. But the Mega Z form just makes it so much better and more fitting for her. So yeah, I'm really glad about that. But that's Vaggie's team. Next is Angel Dust. He'd have a Lechonk. I mean, if you have to ask why, then you didn't pay attention to the show. He'd also have an Ariados, because Angel Dust is a spider, so a spider Pokemon, and it's a poison type, and you know, Angel's song, Poison, like, it fits. And his last Pokemon would be a Serena, because Angel Dust is also a drag queen, and his drag, like, come on, look at his drag outfit, and then look at Serena. They are both serving C-U-N-T, and I love it. But that is Angel Dust's team. Alright, next is Alistair. I mean, I feel like this one's obvious. He'd have a Stantler. It's a deer. He's a deer. I mean, put 2 and 2 together. He'd also have a Sableye, because Sableye can, like, sneak through shadows like he can. Most ghost types can do it, but I feel like Sableye is the most known for it, and it's a dark and ghost type as well, so that fits. And his last Pokemon would be Gengar, because they both have a permanent smile on their face, so that's really fitting as well. And it's not like a nice smile, it's a very sinister looking smile, so yeah, definitely a Gengar. And that's Alistair's team. Next is Husk. His team was kinda easy. I gave him Alolan Meowth because Alolan Meowth's like a sinister looking cat, and that's kind of what Husk is anyway. I gave him Shuckle, and there is a reason for it, because in the Pokemon world, Shuckle's used to make juice. This is real, by the way. They put berries in its holes, and they like juice them and then pour it out of the holes. I'm not even making this up, this is canon. So I feel like he'd do that with alcohol, because Husk is an alcoholic. And then he'd also have Dratini, but because Husk is also a gambling addict, and this is real too, by the way. In Pokemon, like, in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, you literally can win a Dratini by playing slots. Like, if you didn't know that, because they literally just got re-released on the Switch, like, 2 days ago at the time of recording this, they literally have slot machines in them. So, yeah, I think that's perfect for Husk, so he won that in the lore that I've made. So that's Husk's team. It's probably the funniest team out of them all. Alright, next is Nifty. I gave her a rat cape because Nifty kills rats, and now she's their... literally, her word, she's their queen. So, yeah. I also gave her a Heracross because she also kills roaches, but we don't really have a cockroach Pokemon, so this is kind of the closest we have. I know it's not a cockroach, but again, so yeah, you could also argue pincer, I guess. And then she'd also have a Minchino because Nifty's the maid of the hotel and she has to keep everything clean. And that Minchino has to keep everything clean as well. So that's just a match made in heaven right there. So that's Nifty's team. Alright, next is Pinchus. Originally, I only gave him an Execute to represent the Egg Boys, and I still am. But my friend said I should give him other Pokemon as well, so I also gave him an Arbok. I mean, he's a Cobra, that's a Cobra, like, come on. And he'd also have a Togepi, and see, Togepi is really fitting, because Togepi is also a little egg boy, and it evolves into a little fairy with wings, and then that's exactly what happened with Pinchus. He became an angel, so that's perfect. It evolves when he goes to heaven, because of their friendship. So there you go. I love that. I think that's a nice little like lore thing to add to their team. I love that so much. So yeah, that's Pinchus. Okay, so the last character I'm going to talk about in this video is Lucifer. I am going to do all the sins eventually, but I want to do Lucifer first because he's my favorite of them all. So list is obvious. He'd have a Psyduck. Why wouldn't he have a Psyduck? Lucifer loves ducks so much. They're his favorite thing. They're his comfort item. He'd also have a Seviper because, you know, he's the serpent that gave Eve the apple. And speaking of that, he'd also have a Hydrapple. It's literally a serpent that lives in an apple. That's perfect for him. Like, what do you want me to say? And he'd also have a Raichu because cheeks. Then he'd have a shiny Cricketune because he knows how to play, you know, the golden fiddle. There's a whole thing about the devil having a golden fiddle, so yeah. And Cricketune based on that, and it's shiny as gold, so that's perfect right there. And then his last Pokemon would be Giratina, the literal Pokemon devil himself. Like, if I never gave him Giratina, then I might as well just give up because that is the most perfect Pokemon for him. Because, like, he's the fallen angel that created hell by accident. Giratina's basically the same thing in the Pokemon world. It's absolutely perfect. But that's Lucifer's team. And that's all of my Hazbin Hotel Pokemon teams. Do you agree with any of the teams? Do you disagree? Obviously, most of them only have 3, so if you can think of other 3 that they'd have, let me know. Is there any you change in the Charlie and Lucifer's teams? I'd actually really like to know if you would let me know in the comments down below. But that's where I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to be doing part 2 next. That'll be my next video. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!